Welcome back to another episode of Watch Therapy. Today we have the SRPG07 by Seiko from their Presage line. Let's take a moment to look at this beautiful watch. Absolutely stunning. Seiko calls this a Presage 60's style. So, harking back to you can kind of get that with the green. I think of kind of a 60's look to it. It's got a really nice boxed Hardlex crystal. Look at that. Beautiful. Stands up super nice. It's 40.8 millimeters in diameter, with 12 millimeters thick. And from lug to lug, this measures 47 millimeters, which is, again, the lug to lug, I think, is just as important as that dial size. It's just about, I don't know, kind of a way that I look at, is this good for my wrist? Was it better for somebody else's wrist? Speaking of that, let's give it a try. We have twin deployment clasps here. Before I do so, I want to say a thank you to Tock Time Shop here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. They've loaned me this watch. It is for sale. It's brand new, $525, the suggested retail price. And if you want more information about that, or are interested in perhaps purchasing the watch, you can contact Jonathan, which he will be in my description, how to contact him at TikTok Shop. I can give him a call or go online and look for this watch. Let me get this thing jump started here. Unbelievable. It didn't even have it going. Not good. Okay. Now it's ready to go on my 18 centimeter circumference wrist. It's a little over 7 inches. And you can see it sits nicely on my wrist. Man, is that comfortable. Now, I think that they could go down to about 14 centimeter circumference wrist, or about 6.5 inches. I think for me, that lug to lug, you can see it's nowhere near the edge of my wrist. However, I think it sits very comfortably. They always weight them super nice. That thing is just sitting perfectly on my wrist. It's not pulling. It's not like the weight is sort of differentiated in a way that makes it uncomfortable. I think, Jonathan, I might have to call you about buying this watch myself. Loomed hands, beautiful automatic movement, beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It's a 23 joule movement. And with the display case back, you can see all of that. Let's see if I can get you guys to see it. There it is, that nice gold-colored rotor. You can see that 23 joules, the 4R35, just beating away. It's one of their workhorse movements, lasts forever. Absolutely beautiful. So I think, again, for the price, $525, this is another watch by Seiko that is just kind of up to that next tier. It's not overly expensive. I wouldn't call it inexpensive, at least for my budget. Look at that nice signed crown, kind of that older 60s style. I'm not sure why I can't get that to, there we go. That Seiko signed crown. I think for the money, again, it is just an absolute knockout. And look at that dial. I love that green. Look how that shows up. Right there, it almost looks like the dial is actually green. It's black. Beautiful Zaratsu polished indices. Bezel does not rotate. It's not a dive watch. Super comfortable on wrist. And I should have mentioned it's got a 41-hour power reserve. So plenty of power reserve there. Let's take one more look at it. Again, this watch is for sale. And I invite you to like and subscribe. Any questions you have, please, you can throw those in the comment section below. I like that polished sides, the brushed top. Very nice clasp. Positive click right there. Twin trigger, okay, so it doesn't come off by just hitting one. Just a knockout. Let's move on to the watch therapy score, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this Seiko Presage 60s style SRPG07. All right, so here's the watch therapy score for the Seiko Presage SRPG07 from Tock Time Shop in Colorado Springs. And overall appearance and wrist presence, that is a solid 9. I love that green dial, that dark green, that sort of 60s green, the Zaratsu polished indices. I think it's got beautiful polish on the sides of the case, brushing down the middle of, or the top, I should say, of the bracelet with polished side end links. Excellent. The dial, 9 out of 10. It just looks so great on wrist. It's truly, one of those things that looks so much better in person. I think it looks great on film. I hope you agree. But, if you put this on your wrist or you go see it, you'll know more of what I'm talking about. That dial's a 9. Comfort on wrist, a solid 8 out of 10. I think that the bracelet is a little bit, the gaps aren't as big. I'm not sure about the breathability. Haven't really worn it enough out in any sort of heat, but it is extremely comfortable. And it sits, like I said, the weight of it is just so square on top of your wrist. It's stainless steel, so it's there, but it's extremely comfortable. The cool factor, that's an 8 out of 10. That 60s style to it. I think it's really unique. I think it stands out from a lot of other watches. I think it will get noticed. I think it will be, people will comment on it. That's an 8 out of 10. The features are 8 out of 10. I would have liked to have seen, perhaps a rotating bezel. I'm not sure why that's always reserved only for dive watches. But when they have a bezel with the numbers on it and the minutes, I think to myself, that needs to be able to rotate. You could actually time something. You could set that to the current time, and as that minute hand moves, whatever you'd be timing. I'm not sure. I time things all the time. This is watch therapy, but that's something, might have been nice. Accuracy is 8 out of 10. That 4R35, I've got it pretty consistently. I've tested it in a few other watches. And again, this is real world time accuracy, not what the crib sheet says about the watch. You hear a lot of reviews on YouTube, people saying, what the, accuracy is like, but they're just reading it off a crib sheet, off the internet. That's not anything they've tested. Not everybody, but a lot of them. They'll say, this thing is so accurate. It's 1 ± 1 second a month, 5 seconds a month. Well, if you wear it every day, it's in hot temperatures, cold temperatures, you wear it in the shower, you have it resting on its side, all those things, the accuracy, the real world accuracy will be different. It will be. And in this case, I've got it at 4.2 seconds plus 4.2 seconds in a 24-hour period. And that's having it in at least 4 different positions. That's with just light wear. That's in some warmer temperatures, some cooler temperatures, nothing extreme. Don't want to damage the movement. But that's an 8 out of 10. Again, for almost sub $500 watch, that's exceptional. Build quality, 9 out of 10. Japanese, they don't do anything halfway. It is so solidly built. Nothing feels flimsy. It feels like a watch you could have for your whole life and your children's if you passed it on. It is so solid, and I think that Hardlex crystal with domed on there, I think that's a beautiful look, especially when you look down the barrel at the watch. So versatility, solid 8 out of 10. I wouldn't call it a dressy dress watch, but I think it could be used in casual dress situations, certainly at the office. I wouldn't take it necessarily up on a hike somewhere personally. You certainly could. I just think it'd be prone to scratches and you know, it doesn't sort of have that dia-shock or some sort of shock resistance to it, but you know, extremely versatile. Talked about the movement already. Excellent for our 35 in the low 4-second positive range. I think in cooler temperatures or more moderate temperatures, you might even get closer to 0 in 24 hours. The bracelet, very, very, very comfortable. Twin deployment. It's got the polished on the sides, brushed on the top and the intermediary links. I think that it just looks great on wrist, extremely comfortable, and it's got a pin and collar system, so you can certainly have it sized. It's got some half links, and so you could really dial that in. Overall score is a very good 83 out of 100, and that's for the Seiko Presage SRPG07. I welcome you to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to learn more about this watch and potentially purchase it, see Jonathan, and his information is in the description below. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.